This is the Dragunov SVD, a legend born in the shadows of the Soviet Union, designed not just to snipe, but to dominate the battlefield. In the late 1950s, a brilliant engineer named Yevgeny Dragunov was given a challenge: create a rifle that could extend the reach of every infantry squad. Not a slow, bolt-action sniper, but something faster, lighter, deadlier. By 1963, the answer arrived: the SVD. At first glance, it looks like an AK-style rifle, but don't be fooled. Inside, it's a completely different beast. A gas-operated semi-automatic system built for precision and reliability, even in the harshest conditions on Earth. Chambered in the powerful 7.62 54mm R cartridge, this rifle can strike targets up to 800 meters with deadly accuracy. And thanks to its semi-auto design, it doesn't stop at one shot. It keeps going. Fast, controlled, relentless. Equipped with the iconic PSO-1 scope, soldiers could estimate range, adjust for bullet drop, and engage targets with surgical precision, even under pressure. But here's what makes the Dragunov truly special. It wasn't built for lone snipers hiding miles away. It was built for the battlefield, for the squad, for the moment when every second counts. The SVD created a new role: the designated marksman, a soldier who bridges the gap between standard infantry and elite snipers. And that idea, it spread across the world. Today, nearly every modern army uses some form of designated marksman rifle, inspired by this very concept. From the mountains of Afghanistan to the deserts of the Middle East, the Dragunov has proven itself in real combat for over 60 years. Reliable, simple, deadly effective. Even now, it remains in active service, produced by giants like Kalashnikov concern. Because when a weapon works this well, you don't replace it. You respect it. The Dragunov SVD isn't just a sniper rifle. It's a revolution in how wars are fought. And its legacy still echoes every time a single precise shot changes everything. So if you enjoyed this deep dive into legendary weapons, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more powerful military stories, and drop a comment. What weapon should we cover next? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Meet the Mosin Nagant, a rifle that shaped history. Designed in 1891 by Sergei Mosin and perfected by Leon Nagant, this Russian Empire bolt-action rifle became a symbol of durability, precision, and sheer battlefield power. Weighing in at around 4 kilograms and firing the potent 7.62 by 54 mmR cartridge, the Mosin could reach targets up to 800 meters away. Its 5-round internal magazine might sound small today, but back then, loaded with stripper clips, it gave soldiers an edge in rapid combat. This rifle was more than just a weapon, it was a lifeline. From the frozen trenches of World War I to the brutal battles of World War II, the Mosin proved unstoppable. Its simple, rugged mechanism allowed soldiers to fight through snow, mud, and freezing temperatures without missing a beat. And let's talk snipers. Legends like Vasily Zaitsev turned this standard infantry rifle into a precision killing machine. The long barrel, steady bolt action, and powerful round made it a nightmare for enemies at long distances. Over 37 million units were produced, making it one of the most mass-produced military rifles in history. From infantry rifles to short carbines, every variant had its purpose. The M91/30 dominated World War II, while the M38 and M44 carbines added mobility and versatility on the battlefield. Even today, collectors, hunters, and history enthusiasts revere the Mosin. It's a weapon that doesn't just fire bullets, it fires stories of courage, endurance, and legend. So whether you're a history buff, a gun enthusiast, or just love iconic firearms, the Mosin Nagant is a rifle that continues to capture the imagination of the world. If you enjoyed this dive into the Mosin rifle's history and power, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more legendary firearms stories. What if one rifle could completely change the way wars were fought? This is the legendary M1 Garand. Designed by John C. Garand and adopted by the United States military in 1936, this rifle became a symbol of power, innovation, and battlefield dominance. At a time when most soldiers were still using slow bolt-action rifles, the M1 Garand introduced something revolutionary: semi-automatic fire. That meant soldiers could fire round after round without manually reloading after every shot. Faster shooting, quicker reactions, and a serious advantage in combat. Chambered in the powerful 30-06 Springfield cartridge, the M1 Garand delivered incredible stopping power and accuracy at long distances. But what truly made this rifle iconic was its unique loading system, the 8-round N-block clip. Insert it, fire all 8 rounds, and when it's empty, ping! That sharp metallic sound became unforgettable during World War II. Some believed it gave away a soldier's position. Others say, in the chaos of battle, it barely mattered, because by the time enemies reacted, the damage was already done. The M1 Garand was built for war. From muddy trenches to freezing mountains, it kept firing when soldiers needed it most. It proved itself again during the Korean War, showing unmatched reliability under extreme conditions. Even General George S. Patton called it the greatest battle implement ever devised. Over 5 million rifles were produced, each one carrying history in its steel and wood. Of course, it had its drawbacks. It was heavy, it only held 8 rounds, and reloading required skill and timing. But none of that stopped it from becoming one of the most respected rifles ever made. The M1 Garand didn't just fight wars, it changed them. And even today, it remains a powerful symbol of innovation, strength, and history. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more legendary weapons and military stories. Thanks for watching. This is the rifle that changed the Wild West forever. The legendary Winchester Model 1873, also known as the gun that won the West. Introduced in 1873 by the iconic Winchester Repeating Arms Company, this rifle wasn't just a weapon, it was a revolution. At a time when most guns could only fire one shot at a time, this rifle gave shooters something incredible: speed. It used a lever action system: one pull, one shot. Fast, smooth, reliable. Every time you worked the lever, a spent cartridge was thrown out and a fresh round was instantly loaded. No delay, no hesitation, just continuous firepower in your hands. And here's what made it even more powerful. It fired the 4440 cartridge, the same ammunition used in many revolvers of that era. That meant you could carry one type of ammo for both your rifle and your sidearm. Simple, efficient, deadly. The Winchester 1873 also featured a tubular magazine that could hold up to 15 rounds. More shots, less reloading, a huge advantage in any fight. It came in different versions too, a long rifle for accuracy, a shorter carbine for mobility, and even a musket-style version. From cowboys riding across the plains, to lawmen keeping order in dusty towns, to outlaws living on the edge, this rifle was everywhere. It became a symbol of survival, power, and freedom. In a world where every second mattered, the Winchester 1873 gave people the edge they needed. It wasn't just a firearm, it was confidence in your hands. Over 700,000 of these rifles were produced, a true testament to its reliability and popularity. Even today, its legacy lives on. You see it in movies, in history books, and in the hands of collectors who respect its power. The Winchester Model 1873. Not just a rifle, but a legend that helped shape the Wild West. So tell me, would you trust this rifle in a survival situation? Drop your answer in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more legendary weapons. This is not just a rifle. This is history in your hands, the legendary SKS. Born in the final days of World War II, the SKS was designed by Sergei Simonov as a powerful, reliable, semi-automatic carbine for a new era of warfare. It entered service in 1945, just as the world was changing forever. Chambered in the iconic 7.62 by 39 millimeter round, the same ammunition later used by the AK-47, the SKS delivered serious stopping power with impressive accuracy. But what makes it truly unique is its simplicity. No detachable magazines, no complicated systems, just a fixed 10-round internal magazine loaded quickly with stripper clips. And that's where the magic begins. With its gas-operated action and rugged design, the SKS performs in conditions where other rifles fail. Mud, dust, extreme cold, it keeps going. That's why soldiers trusted it and why it's still respected today. Look closer, and you'll notice its signature feature, the built-in folding bayonet. Always ready, no extra gear needed. A reminder of a time when rifles were designed for both firepower and close combat. Weighing around 3.8 kilograms with a solid wooden stock and a balanced feel, the SKS offers stability and control. It may not be the fastest rifle, but it's dependable, and in combat, that's everything. But here's the real story. The SKS wasn't meant to dominate the battlefield forever. It was a bridge, a transition between old bolt-action rifles and the new generation of assault rifles. Soon after, the AK-47 took the spotlight, but the SKS never disappeared. It spread across the world, used by dozens of countries, trusted by millions, and still in service even today. From war zones to collectors to civilian shooters, the SKS remains a symbol of durability, history, and raw mechanical brilliance. This isn't just a weapon, it's a legend that refuses to fade. What happens when engineering meets raw power? You get one of the most feared sniper rifles ever built, the Barrett M107A1. This massive 50 caliber sniper rifle is designed for extreme long-range power and incredible battlefield performance. Built by Barrett Firearms Manufacturing, the M107A1 is an upgraded and more advanced version of the legendary Barrett M107. At first glance, the rifle looks enormous, and that's because it is. The M107A1 fires the powerful 12.7 by 99 mm NATO .50 BMG round, a cartridge known for its incredible range, impact, and stopping power. But the M107A1 is not just about power. Engineers redesigned the rifle to make it lighter and more efficient. Using modern materials and an improved design, this rifle is easier for soldiers to carry and operate in demanding environments. Another major improvement is its compatibility with suppressors. The rifle can be fitted with advanced suppressor systems, reducing flash and recoil while maintaining its devastating performance. The M107A1 is capable of hitting targets at distances beyond 1,800 meters. That's nearly 2 kilometers away. At those ranges, precision, stability, and reliability are absolutely critical. This rifle is widely used by military forces around the world for long-range missions, anti-materiel operations, and extreme precision shooting. Despite its size, the semi-automatic action allows rapid follow-up shots, giving operators a huge advantage in high-pressure situations. From its massive barrel to its powerful recoil system, every part of the M107A1 is designed for strength, durability, and unmatched long-range capability. Today, the Barrett M107A1 stands as one of the most powerful and iconic sniper rifles ever created, a true legend in the world of modern firearms. If you enjoyed learning about this incredible rifle, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more legendary weapons from history and modern warfare. Thanks for watching! War can happen suddenly, and when missiles, fighter jets, or drones are involved, civilians must know how to protect themselves. Staying calm and knowing the right steps can save lives. The first and most important rule is seek shelter immediately when you hear sirens, explosions, or aircraft flying unusually low. Move quickly to the safest place available. Underground shelters, basements, or reinforced buildings provide the best protection from blasts and flying debris. If you are inside a building without a basement, move to the lowest floor and stay away from windows and glass. Windows can shatter from shockwaves and cause serious injuries. Sit against an interior wall and cover your head and neck with your arms or a bag. When missiles or airstrikes occur, do not run outside to watch. Explosions often happen in waves, and a second strike may follow. Stay sheltered until authorities say it is safe. If you hear fighter jets or military aircraft overhead during a conflict, avoid open areas such as roads, fields, or rooftops. Move indoors immediately. Buildings provide better protection from shrapnel and debris. Drone attacks can sometimes be heard as a buzzing sound in the sky. If you hear this during a conflict zone, move into solid cover quickly. Stay inside buildings, away from doors and windows. Always prepare an emergency safety kit at home. This kit should include drinking water, basic food supplies, a flashlight, batteries, a first aid kit, important documents, and a charged phone or power bank. Communication is also very important. Listen to official government announcements, radio broadcasts, or emergency alerts. These messages will tell you when to evacuate, where shelters are located, and when it is safe to move. If evacuation is ordered, leave quickly but calmly. Follow official routes and avoid military areas or damaged buildings. Help children, elderly people, and injured individuals if possible. During any conflict, remember that panic can be as dangerous as the attack itself. Stay calm, stay informed, and stay protected. Knowing these safety steps can help protect you and your family during dangerous situations. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay prepared, and always look out for one another. This is the Tokarev semi-automatic rifle, one of the most ambitious weapons ever fielded by the Soviet Union. Designed by Fyodor Tokarev, the same mind behind the famous TT pistol, this rifle was meant to change infantry warfare forever. Introduced in 1938, the SVT-38 was the Red Army's bold attempt to replace slow bolt-action rifles with the fast-firing semi-automatic battle rifle. Chambered in the powerful 7.62 by 54mm R, the same cartridge used by the Mosin Nagant, the Tokarev delivered serious range and stopping power. Unlike traditional rifles of its time, it used a gas-operated system, allowing soldiers to fire follow-up shots far faster than bolt-action weapons. The rifle carried an extended magazine, but Soviet troops often reloaded it using stripper clips, keeping it faster in combat. However, the original SVT-38 proved heavy, complex, and sensitive to Germans, especially during the brutal Winter War. So, in 1940, the Soviets upgraded it. The result was the SVT-40, lighter, simpler, and more reliable. It featured an improved gas system, a distinctive muzzle brake, and better handling for frontline soldiers. Some versions were even equipped with sniper scopes, making the SVT-40 one of the earliest semi-automatic sniper rifles of World War II. On paper, it was ahead of its time. On the battlefield, it demanded training and careful maintenance, something the Red Army couldn't always provide during wartime chaos. Interestingly, German forces loved captured SVT rifles, often reissuing them to their own troops. Despite its advanced design, the Tokarev was gradually replaced by the rugged Mosin Nagant, which was cheaper and easier to use. But make no mistake, the SVT wasn't a failure. It was a vision of the future, arriving too early for its time. Fast, powerful, and innovative, the Tokarev semi-automatic rifle remains a legendary step in the evolution of modern military firearms. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more legendary weapon history. This is the Mauser Carabiner 98K, one of the most iconic bolt-action rifles ever made. Its story begins in 1898, when legendary German designer Paul Mauser created the Gewehr 98. That rifle didn't just serve Germany, it changed firearm history forever. Fast forward to 1935. Germany needed a shorter, faster, more practical infantry rifle. The result was the Carabiner 98 Kurz, or K98K. Bolt action, 5-round internal magazine loaded with stripper clips. Simple, powerful, deadly accurate. At its heart was the famous Mauser 98 action, a controlled feed bolt system so strong and reliable that it became the gold standard for bolt-action rifles worldwide. The K98K fired the fearsome 7.92 by 57mm Mauser, a cartridge capable of long-range accuracy and massive stopping power. In trained hands, this rifle was effective well beyond 500 meters. Shorter than earlier Mauser rifles, the K98K was easier to handle in trenches, forests, and ruined cities. It became the standard infantry rifle of Nazi Germany during World War II and served on every major front, from the frozen East to the deserts of North Africa. Many K98Ks were fitted with scopes, turning them into deadly sniper rifles, respected and feared by Allied troops. Over 14 million were produced, and even under wartime pressure, early models showed incredible craftsmanship. After the war, the K98K refused to disappear. Captured rifles were used by dozens of countries and later transformed into civilian hunting rifles. Today, the Mauser Carabiner 98K stands as more than a weapon. It's a symbol of engineering excellence and the rifle that defined the bolt-action legacy. Thanks for watching. Follow for more legendary weapons from history. This is the Lee Enfield rifle, one of the fastest bolt-action rifles ever used in war. Designed in the United Kingdom, this legendary rifle became the backbone of the British Army for more than half a century. At the heart of the Lee Enfield is the design genius of James Paris Lee, whose bolt and magazine system changed infantry warfare forever. Unlike most bolt-action rifles of its time, the Lee Enfield used a 10-round detachable magazine, double the capacity of many of its rivals. But here's what made it truly special: its smooth, rear-locking bolt. This design allowed soldiers to cycle the action incredibly fast, earning British troops a fearsome reputation on the battlefield. Trained soldiers could fire 20 to 30 aimed shots per minute, a rate so fast that enemies often believed they were facing machine guns. The rifle was chambered in .303 British, a powerful cartridge known for long-range accuracy and devastating stopping power. Manufactured at the Royal Small Arms Factory in Enfield, this rifle earned its famous name, the Lee Enfield. From the muddy trenches of World War I to the deserts of North Africa and the jungles of Asia during World War II, the Lee Enfield proved one thing again and again: reliability. Dust, mud, rain, heat, this rifle kept firing when others failed. Its most famous version, the SNLE, was short, well-balanced, and deadly accurate, making it one of the most loved rifles in military history. Even today, the Lee Enfield remains a symbol of British engineering, discipline, and battlefield dominance. A bolt-action rifle that could outrun time itself. Thanks for watching. If you love legendary weapons and military history, hit like, subscribe, and stay locked for more iconic firearms stories. This is the FG-42, one of the most insane weapons ever built in World War II. Designed for Nazi Germany's elite paratroopers, this rifle wasn't just a gun, it was an experiment to change infantry warfare forever. The FG-42 stands for Fallschirmjägergewehr 42, literally Paratrooper Rifle 1942, and from the start, it broke every rule. While most soldiers carried either a rifle or a machine gun, the FG-42 tried to be both. It fired the brutal 7.92 by 57 millimeter Mauser, the same full-power round used by the MG-42 machine gun. But unlike the MG-42, this weapon could be fired from the shoulder. Semi-automatic for accuracy, full automatic for suppression. One gun, one soldier. The mind behind this radical design was Louis Stein, working at Rheinmetall in Nazi Germany. His goal? Give paratroopers a weapon they could fight with the moment they hit the ground. And here's where it gets crazy. In semi-auto, the FG-42 fired from a closed bolt for precision. In full auto, it switched to an open bolt to prevent overheating. That feature wouldn't become common until decades later. The 20-round magazine was mounted on the side, allowing soldiers to stay low while firing prone. But it also made the weapon unbalanced and difficult to control. And control was a real problem. At around 750 rounds per minute, full auto fire was violent. The recoil was savage. This was not a gun for beginners. Only about 7,000 FG-42 rifles were ever produced. Too expensive, too complex, too advanced for wartime mass production. But its legacy lived on. The FG-42 directly influenced modern automatic rifles and even machine gun. It wasn't the best rifle, it wasn't the best machine gun, but it was one of the boldest weapon designs in history. A weapon built for the future, decades before the world was ready. If you love rare and legendary weapons, hit subscribe and stay locked for more history like this. This rifle wasn't just a weapon. It was called the right arm of the free world. Meet the FNFAL. FNFAL stands for Fusil Automatique Léger, which means light automatic rifle. Designed in Belgium, this Cold War legend armed more than 90 countries across the globe, making it one of the most widely used battle rifles in history. Created in the late 1940s by legendary designer Dieudonné Save, the FNFAL was built for one purpose: battlefield dominance and reliability under fire. Chambered in 7.62 by 51 millimeter NATO, this was a true full-power battle rifle, delivering serious range, hard-hitting accuracy, and devastating stopping power. The FNFAL is gas-operated, using a short-stroke piston with an adjustable gas system, allowing soldiers to tune the rifle for mud, sand, heat, or extreme cold. It features selective fire, semi-automatic and fully automatic, but full auto recoil was so intense that many armies restricted it to semi-auto only. With a 20-round detachable magazine, the FNFAL balanced firepower, control, and durability. From Europe to Africa, from the Middle East to South America, this rifle saw combat on nearly every continent. During the Falklands War, both sides carried the FNFAL into battle, proof of its global reach. Heavy, powerful, and dependable, it wasn't perfect, but it was legendary. This rifle defined the Cold War battlefield. This is the FNFAL, one of the greatest battle rifles ever made. Follow for more legendary weapons.